Hello everyone, welcome back to the SP Learning Labs Java programming course. In today's video, we are going to learn encapsulation and data hiding. This is a very important concept. We will understand what is encapsulation, what is data hiding, why they are important, how to implement them, and where we use them in real world applications. Let's get started. In the previous video, we learned about constructors. We created objects and initialized values. Now think about this. In a bank ATM, you can check balance, deposit money, withdraw money, but can you directly access the bank database? No, everything is controlled. You can only access data through proper methods. So data is hidden, access is controlled. What is encapsulation? Same concept in Java. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation means wrapping data and methods together and controlling access to data. In simple words, we hide data and allow access through methods. What is data hiding? Data hiding means restricting direct access to variables using access modifiers like private. So, encapsulation is the concept, data hiding is how we achieve it. Encapsulation is the idea, data hiding is the implementation. Now, let's understand this with code. Now, let's create another subpackage under OOP concepts. I will create a subpackage encapsulation. And click finish. Now inside this I will create a class bank account. And check the main method and click finish. So this is our bank account class. Now inside this class I will create a variable. And also I will write two methods. Now observe carefully what I have written. Here balance is private access modifier. This is called data hiding. So because we are restricting direct access to the variable, we cannot access it directly from outside the class. Now look at the full class. We have data balance and methods set balance and get balance. Both are combined together. This is called encapsulation. So remember, private variable is data hiding and data plus methods is encapsulation. Now look at the setter. Here for this set balance, I have written double amount as parameter and balance equal to amount. So balance is class variable. So this works fine. What if parameter name and variable name are same? Let's see this. Now you can see here one suggestion is coming. The assignment to variable balance has no effect. Why this? Because both are same. Java gets confused. This will not work correctly. Now what we will do, here I will type this dot balance. Now you can see that suggestion is gone. This refers to current object. So we clearly tell Java assign parameter value to the class variable. Now how do we use this? This setter and getter methods. Setter use it to set value, getter use it to read value. Before encapsulation, we used to write balance equal to 1000 and directly anyone could change it from anywhere, which is not safe. But now we use setter to set the balance and getter to get the values. So we can control how values are set and how safely access the value. Let's see it. Now I will create object for this bank account. Now I will set the balance. So now 1000 value is stored inside balance. Now I will get the balance. I will print it in print statement. Now I will run this program. Now you can see the output 1000. So, and this is exactly how encapsulation works. And notice we never accessed balance directly. We used method, setters and getters. So data is protected. We hide the data and control how it is used. In real projects, we don't write getters and setters manually. Imagine this. What if your class has 20 variables or 30 variables like name, age, email, phone, address, and many more? Now, in this class, we have one variable and we manually return set balance and get balance. For each variable, you need to write setters and getters. That means 20 variables, 40 methods. This is a lot of code to write. So writing all this manually takes time and increases chances of mistakes. So in real projects, we use IDE support. Eclipse provides an option to generate setters and getters automatically. Now let's see this. Now I will create some variables. Now imagine this writing setters and getters for this variable. It will take a lot of time. Now what I will do, I will just press right click, and here you can see the option source, and after this you can see options generate, getters and setters. Just click this. Now here you can see our variables. Here you can see the option select all, and just you can also select the access modifiers. Now I will click generate. Now you can see for all the variables setters and getters has been created automatically. So don't write repetitive code. Let tools do it for you. Now you might have a doubt. In previous video we used constructors to initialize values, but here we are using setter method. So what is the difference? So constructor is used to set values at the time of object creation. Setter methods is used to set or update values after object is created. Let me show you clearly. If we use constructor, value is set immediately. Here you can see the error. Why? Because we don't have any parameterized constructor. Let's create one. Now you can see the error is gone. Now here I will print a statement. And now here I will change to 1500. Now let's run this. You can see here first it has printed 1000 after object and after 1500. So what happened here? Now let's see what happened. First we passed value to constructor, parameterized constructor. So what happened here? When we passed the value through parameterized constructor, it sets immediately, and after that when we used set balance, the value is changed. So the output is 1500. So you can see value is updated after object creation. So both are used to set values, but constructor sets initial value and setters updates value anytime. So in encapsulation we mainly use setter and getter to control access. Constructor set once, setters can update anytime. So that's all about encapsulation coding part. Why it is important? Why is encapsulation important? It protects data, prevents misuse, improves security, and makes code clean and maintainable. Encapsulation keeps data safe and code clean. Common mistakes. Some common mistakes are making variables public. This breaks data hiding. Accessing variables directly instead of using methods. not using proper getters and setters. Never expose your data directly. Best practices. Some best practices are always keeps variables private. Use getters and setters. Protect first, then provide controlled access. Homework and questions. Create a class, add private variables, add getter and setter methods. Try accessing variables directly and observe the error. Also try this. Use Eclipse option, right click, generate getters and setters and see how it automatically creates methods. Most asked questions. What is encapsulation? What is data hiding? Difference between both? Why use private variables? Now it's your turn. Try this code yourself. Share your answers in the comment section. If you have any doubts, drop them below. I will help you. Practice manually and then use tools smartly. So that's all for today. In the next video, we will learn inheritance. Now we can protect data. Next, we will learn how to reuse it. If you found this helpful, like, share and subscribe to SP Learning Labs. See you in the next video.